What is up, Moose Knuckles? JJ back here from Run Pure Bets with another free pick for you. This time it's going to be in Major League Baseball for Tuesday, June the 22nd. Game is going to be played between the Miami Marlins and the Toronto Blue Jays. Going for the Marlins is Sandy Alcantara, and for the Blue Jays, Ross Stripling. Current betting spread is Jays minus 115, total 7.5. So it was nice bounce back, easy win. Mariners first 5 money line minus 110 from Friday. Moves these plays to 17-7. Plus 10.55U. I took my first weekend off from the live videos this season in Major League Baseball. As I was down in Virginia seeing the Pops for Father's Day. Yes, what a disaster. I don't even know where to begin. First of all, kudos to Joey for filling in admirably this weekend with the Major League Baseball shows. And of course, Keg always holding it down and spread as well with Tyler and the DFS guys in NBA. So much respect all around. But yeah, I am back. It is always nice to take a little break from gambling, and I went with him. We played little craps, and have our own little side wagers and stuff. But not really any sports betting for me this weekend. It's nice always to get away for a bit and kind of clear the head, if you will. Also, live life, right? Life's not all about gambling. All right, so you never really know what you're going to get when you go to my dad's. But this trip did include a good variety. First of all, I get there and I'm eating dinner with my dad. This is within like the first half hour. He goes, "Woof, you haven't been missing many meals this quarantine." Could you imagine his rotund ass mocking my weight? Then my 10-year-old sister whoops my ass in Monopoly. I know what you're thinking. She got the Monopoly on the red spaces. For those that live under a rock, that's Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois. And from there, she just kind of ran away with it. And in the grand scheme, those aren't great ROI properties, but if you can get those and then block your opponent from everything else, it's game over. Afterwards, we tied in Scrabble. I know, not the best look for me either. But she was allowed to use a Scrabble dictionary, and I was not. I cannot understate how much of an advantage that is. I had the pregame line at Pick'em. Final score, 374. Not a bad showing from the little Miss Appricina. Then there was the whole part where my dad's office smelled like marijuana on Saturday morning. And he asked me if I was moving weight in his house. He's like, if you're going to be an asshole and smoke weed in my office, with your little sister in the house, the least you could do, or have the decency to do, is warn me or do it outside. Mind you, his eyes were so bloodshot. It looked like he had pink eye in both eyes. I see you, Pops. So I also got horrible sleep both nights. He has a finished basement with a guest room, and that leads right to his pool outside. So there's a few pieces of water there and a nice jacuzzi and such. And I say that because outside my room there were these frogs that wouldn't shut the fuck up all night. These fat, horny frogs sounded like they had shoved like microphones up their asses, and somehow it like regurgitated through their throat. If my spider senses weren't tingling enough about those frogs and how ironic it was with them right outside my room, I kind of thought it was my dad's doing. And look, when I get out of bed, I see my dad, and you want to guess what he said to me first thing in the morning? "Any trouble sleeping last night, champ?" My response, "I slept like an absolute baby. One of the best nights of sleep of my life." You can never really tip your hand. Like, if he had anything to do with those frogs that were outside of my room, he wasn't going to find that out from me. Until now, of course. But he'll never watch this video, so it doesn't matter. All in all, fun weekend nonetheless. I hope you all enjoyed your Father's Days. Whether you're a father or a son, daughter, or even if you came from like a stork. Regardless, much respect to all the dads out there. And that's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right, on to the play here. The real OGs know that the first of this month, I actually faded Sandy Alcantara versus the Jays on the road. First 5. Much of that cap had to do with the version of Alcantara coming into that game who hadn't faced anyone, and the Jays hot sticks as well. And of course, he was drawing one of the hottest sticks in the lineup, or hottest lineups in all of baseball. Excuse me. He's also a wildly different pitcher on the road versus at home in Alcantara. Things are a bit different this time, though, on many fronts. I actually love the Marlins money line here at minus 105. I got this up past minus 120 on my end. Speaking of Alcantara, let's just start there. Sandy, as the cool kids call him, having an excellent season, and let's be honest, he's got some excellent stuff. As I said on June 1st for the video, Alcantara's got one of the best changeups in all of baseball and a very live fastball. Throws a few other pitches, but expect a heavy dose of those two in particular. Enters this game having one of his best stretches of the season. This almost would make me a bit leery about jumping aboard because it's almost like you start buying high on certain players. But I don't think his recent outings are counted nearly into this number. He's gotten at least 8 innings in 2 of his last 3 and 3 of his last 5. He's given up 2 earned in 3 straight starts and 5 of 6. The lone bad start, yes, against the Blue Jays. But remember, it was on the road, and 3 of the 4 runs came from a Vladdy bomb. I'd expect him to be a bit more careful this time around, especially with Vlad. But look, he's also got the bigger park behind him. Back-to-back starts from him against the healthy Braves lineup and Cardinals lineup, navigating with success. I even look at that Pirates start as a decent one as well, considering the Pirates got healthy and they started doing some work with their sticks. I know Pirates are bad, but I mean, if you look up and down the lineup, they got some live sticks there. Well, now they do anyway. ERA, a cool 2.22 in June, which includes the 4-run outburst versus the Jays on the first. He's good versus righties and lefties. Woba 234 at home. Jays have a scary lineup for sure, but this being in the NL means Stripling's a practical free out. They're not going to be able to start their normal outfielders unless they move Biggio to third, which they probably will, but just mentioning it. This Jays lineup is also filled with righties, and while Alcantara has shown some recent regression versus righties, he's by no means bad versus righties at all. And he's also much better than the surface looks as well. The strides he's made versus lefties says a lot about him too in his development as a pitcher. He's yielded 2 total home runs this season to right-handed bats, and his K per 9 is well above 10 versus righties. And again, this Blue Jays lineup is practically all righties. If his confidence rolls into this start as it should, I'd expect a good outing despite him seeing this scary Jay lineup. Now, Ross Stripling, as a starter this season, rocks a robust 5.32 ERA, which goes hand in hand with his weighted OBA 350. His advanced stuff's no better. He's one of the worst pitchers in baseball the first time through the order as well. But he'll be happy to be back in an NL park. I mean, I know he had his stint with the Dodgers for a few years. Good versus lefties, but woeful versus righties. These reverse splits now have been present for 2 straight seasons, so it's hard to ignore the numbers. Marlins' best bats, much like the Jays, come from the right side of the plate. Stripling's also way worse away from home. May get a little better here, though, considering Marlins Park's a very pitchers-friendly park, and he's going to be in the NL. Much like the Mariners play from Friday, though, it's not fun to bet teams like the Marlins, who are always vulnerable to lose games like 1 or 2 to nothing. But this team certainly has live sticks, and they draw a real juicy matchup here versus Stripling. I debated on doing just the first 5, but believe it or not, the Marlins' pens actually outperformed the Jays' pen this year. Again, American League, National League, sure. And look, we also have the arm here that's a much bigger innings eater. Alcantara's got at least 6 innings in every home start this year, and only twice this year has he gone less than 6 innings in all his starts combined. Stripling, who's a glorified relief pitcher, has only pitched past the 6th inning just twice. I also like the added benefit of getting a longer potential stint from Alcantara and then handing off to an underrated bullpen from the Marlins afterwards. For me, it creates a little bit of less variance this way than doing it first 5. It will be tilting to think, though, if the Marlins are tied after 5 or they lose through 5 and then if they're winning after 5 and then lose the game late, that would be quite tilting for me. But I have this slightly better, and of course at a better price. First 5 you have to be 110, now it's 105 full game. Jays have had a strong pen coming into the season, but with no Phelps, Baraki, and Dallas, puts a lot of pressure on Romano and Chatwood. Since we can assume Stripling likely doesn't go 7 innings, this leaves a gap even if the Jays have a small lead late in the game, before Romano and Chatwood come in. Overall, the Marlins should be favored in this game on my end. I get the much better arm, who's a true innings eater, who's pitching some of his best ball of the season in his home venue, where he pitches tremendously better against a guy who rarely goes past the 6th inning and who has some advanced woeful numbers, especially against right-handed bats. Marlins have a sneaky good pen. Jay's pen's been average at best with fill-in arms until their guys get healthy. You guys know I faded Alcantara a few weeks back and in this opposite spot early in the month, but you got to let numbers dictate your bets. My end has the Marlins here far better than the 105 currently shown in the marketplace. So again, I bet the Marlins full game at minus 105 at BetMGM in New Jersey. May the odds be ever in our favor. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, thumbs up. Create some fake accounts more. Thumbs up. If you did not enjoy, I hope you wake up with your nuts stapled to your ass cheeks. As always, drop comments below with your thoughts on the vid. Also, let me know on who you're betting for tomorrow's action or tonight's action, depending when you watch. Full slate on Tuesday as well. So show me something that you're betting. And again, folks, comment section, always warm water. Dive on in. And I always get back to you. We also have content lined up on the channel all week, MLB, NBA. Stay tuned for all of that. Spread will hook you guys up with Tyler and the DFS crew for NBA. Joey will have you covered in bases for the next few days, and he's been red hot. I'm going to be back on Thursday night with another MLB pick for Friday. But until then, be sure to gamble responsibly, stay safe, and thanks again for watching.